Hey Mohammed, how's it going, man? Oh. Why did it YouTube? Oh, it's the wrong one, that's why. Alright, let's get Twitch chat up. My shorts up. Like I sort of move forward and my shorts are like pulled backwards. I discovered something interesting earlier about Americans. Apparently Americans tend to wear pajamas out in public, which may not sound weird to an American, but it's very uncommon. You'll see it like someone in a dressing gown, very, very rarely, so often down here. But it's considered a big oddity. Like it's not considered something you would wear, right? Why is it doing it diagonally now? It's so annoying. What's annoying about it is because people keep telling me to go through UV mapping tools. And I'm like, I don't need them. It seems to work fine. And as soon as I said that, I keep having problems with UV mapping. I'm like, it was working fine. Like, that's fine. I like keeping really basic with tools. I don't think you need to complicate what you're doing with more advanced tools if those advanced tools aren't doing anything particularly extra. Like, if I had tools to help me UV map, unless there was one that did automatic UV mapping really well, it would not speed up what I'm doing at all, right? All it would do is maybe feel a little nicer, but it won't actually speed up my workflow. So if a plugin is introducing more tools and not speeding up my workflow, then I don't really see much point in using it. Does that make sense? So actually a good lesson here. Is this supposed to be tilted? Well, I don't mind making it tilted. I just didn't realize it was. So talk about UVs at slant, right? So the reason this is a problem, I'll show you why. If we go into Photoshop. And we're going to do like a 64 by 64? 64 by 64. A very low res texture because it will really help demonstrate why it's important to try to keep your... why software tends to have stuff that makes sure UV is vertical or horizontal. Hey, Formless and Void, or... Well, actually, I don't know if you like me mentioning your old name, so hello, Formless and Void. Yeah, so this is why UVs are important to keep them straight, right? So if we look here, this is each pixel to your UV. Let's say this is my UV map. Now, you could have your UV map, like, cut in the middle here, for example, and you'll get some bleeding effect on the actual UVs. It's going pretty good. It's true if I make a game Sony has to... I have no idea, actually. Do you mean like Sony has to make it work? Because I thought you had to be the one to make it work. I'm not sure about that. Anyways, yeah, so if we look here, so this perfectly fits, right, to the pixel. So when you actually go to UV map this, you'll get these really, really clean lines. Now, like I said, sometimes you'll have a shape that's like half a UV, but that still looks pretty good. It might slightly blur on the UV, but it's fine. Now, you get more UV space. You get more UV space out of having it diagonal usually. But the problem with having it diagonal, you can already see it. You're now on the UV square. These are perfectly supposed to be like this, like a perfect line. But on textures, textures work with pixels, right? So if we go to Blender and actually look at UV, let's look at something square because it'll make it a bit more easy to explain. If you tilt it, your UVs don't care about pixels because they're just UVs. And look, it takes up this much room. I can't make it any bigger because it will go over. If I rotate it, make it bigger, we actually get a little bit more UV space, but you now have slanted UVs, and that causes the issue that I just showed in Photoshop, where you'll get this, because the UVs want to be diagonal. But because textures are made up of pixels, it can't, in a way, be diagonal, so you'll get this sort of shading effect. Aliasing, yeah, kind of. And it tends to make it harder to UV map it in Substance because you will kind of see those pierce through when trying to texture site, and it kind of makes it look lower quality even though you literally increase the size of the UVs. So in your adventure to try to, in your journey to try to give more UV space by tilting it and expanding it, you end up, you don't want jaggies, I like that. Yeah, exactly. In your quest to make it take up more space to give you more texture density, you're actually making it look worse. You have more texture density, but you now have these jagged pixels because it's slanted, which then gives it a lower resolution look. Especially when it goes to the actually edge of that island on the UV square or the UV sheet. So it's like a catch-22 where you think it's going to be better because you're increasing the size on the UV sheet because like you get to rotate it and increase it, but in reality it tends to look worse. So just a quick lesson in UVs and why most software will tend to make things vertical and horizontal, and why Blender's annoying me at the moment because whenever I go to UV map something, it keeps making it slant. Usually it makes it like here when I UV map this, look, slanted. No idea why. Blender wasn't doing that before. But yeah, it's just an interesting note to make for UV mapping. It's not the most important thing in the world, but if you UV map as much as I do on a day-to-day basis, well, actually recently I've not been making a lot of models, but I usually do. And yeah, it's something you really start noticing, especially if you've got multiple assets on one UV sheet. I have not. Weirdly enough, just before you got here, I said I have no interest in adding an add-on unless it makes the process better. Annoyingly, like I said, these have been slanting recently, and maybe it will improve that. But usually I have no reason to add any additional tools to Blender's UV mapping because I like simplicity when I do things. I don't feel like if a tool's not actually adding something significant to actually make my workflow any faster, I don't usually like adding it. Because then it makes it a requirement as well when you go into like a job and stuff that you're like, oh, but I need these tools added and I'm used to doing this. Where if I work really well with the fundamentals, it just would be easier. I don't think so. I'll check when I'm doing this one. That one just adds a hotkey to automatically make the UVs more grid-like instead of... maybe I'll add it. You know what? We'll have a look. Is it free? I think I did add it at some point. But people keep telling me to buy so many random plugins. I'm like, I don't need them. But, I mean, if this one's free... It's built in. Oh, it was one of the ones that you go into the plugin folder. Well, that's even better, then. School. Nope. UV. Magic UV. Magic UV. Buy this plugin called Autodesk Maya. Ah, yes. The Maya advert. Guess what Magic UV is. Do I get any more settings? Whoa! That looks awful. Look at all these new settings. Extra lock. Preserve UVs. Could have a different name. It might have a different name, yeah. I thought maybe it was UV Magic. I mean, it's lock. But I don't really know what that means. Not sure. Oh, that's better. I'll Google it. Go for it. You do that while I do more UV mapping. I don't want to do the walls quite yet. All the walls are combined mesh. I've got to keep balance here. Well, so how's it going, Megapixel? How's your job? I ask you every time just to keep up. So a couple of ways I could do this. I wonder if it's thin enough that it won't look too bad if I just do this. Oh. Oh God, I didn't do the corners. This. Oh, what's this part? Oh, of course. Oh. I need to do this on each end. Do I need to do that on the end? What about here? Oh, unwrap. Oh, no. That's pretty good. I don't think we're getting much better than that. It's got to be a little bit warped because you're trying to force those in. Weirdly enough, another tip for you is don't always worry about perfectly aligned UVs. I could go in here or maybe get a plugin that would help make all these lines be perfectly straight. Perfectly straight UVs look visually appealing, but they're not always the best thing for your actual mesh. Because they're warped for a reason. They're warped on here. Can I... how do I do this again? You add... You go... UV grid, click yes. If I show you on the UV grid, we'll have a C. Add new base color. No. Yep. Image. That one. There you go. You'll see. Look. Oh, actually, no. Some of these are warped. Really? That doesn't look like it should be warped. Ah, well, I guess that makes sense. But, I mean, usually I'd show an example and it wouldn't do that. But, yeah, usually it's warped. If I tried to make these straight now, because it can't be straight because they're coming into a center that's going away from, like, the UV projection. The only way I could achieve that is by cutting all of these out now, which isn't the worst idea. UV squares. Well, you said squares before, didn't you? What did you say before? You said UV squares add-on. Not coming up. Enable add-on only. No. Won't be that. UV? I mean, there's only two. So I assume it was got UV in the title. It's not here. It got removed. Ah! That's a shame. Did it get removed in place of magic UVs? I wonder if there's something in there that does the same thing. Oh, one of my hard drives died with work on it, so that's fun. Ooh. That is rough. My job's going very interesting at the moment. I don't like sharing too much information about it, but it's just so much, like, weirdness. So I could do that, now make it straighter, and you'll end up with these. The only problem with that is they end up being these weird shapes. I could... It is, to be fair, a flat color thing. It's going to be all very flat color, so what I could do is go even more with the seams, because I likely won't see seams anyway, because I'm going to be hand painting it, solid colors, and flat shading. So I could do that, and Do that, and that will help separate them out into separate parts. I really liked your drawings, Formless and Void. I believe you're the same person I think you are in my chat. Is your name in that too? You're not here too often, so... You posted this, right? Work in progress or finished pieces? Finished pieces. Yeah, you're James the Squirrel, right? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, they look really cool. I really like... I liked the blur style you used to have, or the, like... Let me look at an old image. It'd be easier to... Yeah, like these ones. Like... Sort of heavy stroked, blurred, kind of... There is a specific word I'm looking for. Watercolor? Water painted? No. I don't think that's quite right. You probably have the word on your mind. But I liked that old style too. But I do really like the newer style for the fact that... Oh, that's cool. I didn't even see your sculpt from ages ago. I do really like the new style with much more bolder lines and stuff because it's it has a lot more form to it. And I think there's a lot more discipline in that style than there is in the older style, because the older style is a lot more free because you're not obviously... I mean, I'm not much of someone who draws, but I know a bit about it, and you're not limited as much to... Oh, sorry, you're more limited because you've got to keep within bounds. You've got to make these silhouettes and everything. I think the one of the Winnie the Pooh looking thing, I don't know what it's supposed to be, eating the arm, is pretty cool. It's a bit dark. But yeah, it's really impressive. Is it faster? That's really interesting. I mean, I didn't necessarily say it was harder. I just said it was more disciplined. But yeah, that's it's really cool. How do I keep selecting other things? I've got one more left. This one. I wonder where the doggos are right now. How do I keep selecting other ones? Does it not? So it should go exactly where it is. Oh, I've been playing a lot of Getting Over It recently, and I've got a pretty good time now. I'm at 8 minutes, and I discovered there's a setting you could turn on that makes the game easier. And I was like, hold on a minute, and apparently that's what everybody uses. I was like, what? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you could sculpt it without worrying about brushwork. Yeah. Yeah, that's a much more descriptive way of putting it. What do you do at your job, Megapixel? Are you more of a prop artist, or you environments and everything? I do everything at my job. Well, everything that's to do with 3D. I've even done some characters, not recently. Actually, no, I textured a character not long ago. Look really cool. I've been watching Jujutsu Kaisen, which is a really annoying name of a title, because I always thought Jujutsu was spelled, I don't know why the capitals. It's showing where I live. Great, let me go in incognito mode. I like how it's coming up. So I kept calling the show Jujutsu. Jujutsu. Kaisen. Kaisen. But apparently that's how you pronounce Jujutsu. Oops. Wow, my spelling is terrible today. Look, it's even got the other spelling that I thought it was spelled.
Jujutsu. Jujutsu.
I mean, it kind of sounds like it's saying Jujutsu. I don't know then. I looked up recently and I heard it being pronounced Jujitsu, and I was like, oh.
Jiu-jitsu.
That's really robotic sounding. Environment is my title, but I've been doing a weird hybrid type thing recently. Oh, okay. Do you do a lot of actual impactful work, or is it like miniature things that like is part of the overall work, if you know what I mean? Like, if you showed me the work you worked on, would the environment be majority yours, or would it be a Frankenstein sort of piece between everybody at your work? Because, like, again, my work, we buy packs, admittedly, but my work, if you look at anything at my job, it's something 50% of the time. If you see an environment, it's like 100% something I put together or made manually. I wish I could show you one of the environments I made, but I'm not allowed to because it's under NDA. I might ask my boss if it truly is under NDA, and if it's not, if I can post it on my ArtStation. Because I've done so much work at my job. A lot of it's been rushed work, just because we've been trying to get stuff out. So it's not like it's really, really detailed, but some of the stuff has been really fun, and it's been really, like, cool to work on. Depends on what you saw. I've done 100% of one, but now I'm working on a trophy. Okay, okay. If you've got any jobs opening... I always have a constant worry, Jesus, about the longevity of my my current company. But I think that's the case of sort of any indie company. But it does make me think about opportunities. Like, I'm not looking to leave, but it'd be nice to know an opportunity is available if I were to be let go. I'm trying to do the basic shapes first. I'm running this way for as long as I can, or do you think it's not lasting long for you? Well, not for you particularly, but your company. I kind of want to go get a coffee, but... Wait, what's looking awesome? Me? Been in art workshop with Robot Pencil. Robot Pencil? And I've mentoring... Oh, someone called Robot Pencil, right. And I have a mentoring ship with him for September, and he's been doing me a ton of my... He's been helping me a ton with my techniques. I cannot read today and stuff. I'm happy to go for an art job afterwards. That's awesome. I really wish... So nothing I've ever learned in art has ever come from anybody else. Except from maybe looking for myself on YouTube and stuff. I've never had a mentor. I've never had someone... Even like at my job, I am the highest part of my job. I am the lead artist. I've technically got an art director, but he doesn't necessarily teach me how to do art. He just asks for things to be in, right? I know you guys can probably hear my fan a little bit, but it's very warm in here. Sorry. But, yeah, I would love to be mentored. I applied for so many internships. This didn't take very long, right, guys? Like, what? 2 sessions? Free streams? And I usually do 2-hour streams. It was probably like 6 to 8 hours, if that. The modeling side is always really... yeah, the modeling side is always pretty fast, right? It's the texturing stuff. I started to... when did I do it? That was the first stream a month ago. That was 3.5 hours, 2 hours, and 2 hours. Yep, that looks like it. So 7.5 hours. But I talk a lot during my streams, as right now I'm not doing any work. So probably... You could probably half that, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, some very expensive people who do mentorships for a flat fee. I mean, the problem with me is I was very, very poor until I had this job. I never had the money to do anything like that. I've never had the luxury. I come from a family who charged me rent as soon as I left university. I don't blame them because I don't come from a rich family. So unfortunately, I never had the opportunity to, if I wanted to, pay for any of it because I just barely had money to get by. So yeah, unfortunately, I've not had that option ever in my life to pay for tutoring. I do now, but I just don't feel like I have the time because I work full time anyway. And I'm learning a lot just learning from myself. Like I can put an environment together that's completely functional, because that's another thing, right? There's making something look very, very artistic, because this is like I have to explain to my boss sometimes. Yes, yeah, true. Yeah, so one big thing about making environments is a lot of people seem to forget that it's not just about making it look good. It's about making it functional, right? And a really good example, really good example, actually. Can I load up a new Blender document? So a really good example was, there was this artist, this concept artist we were working with, and they drew like a castle, right? And it had like 4 walls, as you'd expect. What if I could mirror it to make it easier to sort of work with? So it had your 4 walls. No. Location. There you go. Like so. And then these walls had like bit on top. Do both sides. Bit on top. Oh, I should do one at a time. Oh wait, hold on a minute. That didn't duplicate the way I thought it was going to. Bit on top with like some walls on it. Yeah, we'll just make it a bit sloppy for now, it's fine. Cool, something like this. Same on this other side. It looks very bad, but yeah. And then it had like these little towers on the edges, right? And then these had something like that, with a bit that goes in the middle. Then it had some things in there. So like, sort of tower, I could definitely have made this bigger. It's a bit cramped right now. There you go. And the problem with the passage drawing is they made it look, and if we actually just can we subdivide it? I'd have to bevel first, actually. Get bevel on it. Cool. Then get subdivide on it. Second bevel. We want to do bevel first. No, that was right. Bevel first. Mirror. Wow, it's not beveling very well. Huh. Okay. Maybe we can't bevel. Anyways. And it basically had it so it was all sort of like this. And if I actually just do this, I can make it look a bit better. Whoop. Go. Grab it from the top. Because they wanted to make it look cartoony, right? So it had this really... I was grabbing everything. Jesus. Let's go linear. Had this really... Had this really big bend to it, right? Like it was like doing something like this. Like that. Yeah, pretty much like that, right? And when I modeled it, I did have a slight curve on it, but I basically modeled it much more subtle. It was much more like... Why isn't it not clipping? It's supposed to clip. Oh, I've not turned it on, so I undid that. So it was more like this. Whatever. So it's very subtle. And she was like, oh, it was like on a hill, like... I wish I could show you this map, actually. This is a map I basically made for work. It's on a hill. Center point basically came up like this. Not linear. We want a curve now. Sphere. Nope. Smooth? Smooth. It had like a hill. It was on top of the hill. And it had like a moat going around, but I won't do that in Blender, right? I don't have a camera. Oh, whatever. And it was like this. The angle that she drew it from was like this, but hers was flaring out a lot more. Oh, so I was just really want to make a pixel so unless a bigger wave comes here. The mentorship is more to have immediate feedback, which you're already getting if you're working professionally. I don't really get any immediate... Like, I am the highest part of my company. I don't really get feedback that's... I get feedback. I don't get constructive feedback. And I think every artist probably knows what I mean when I say that. But it's like, someone can say... Right, it's, for example, if I drew a cup, right? Let's say I drew this... I drew this cup. And let's say it looked pretty good, but there was issues with it. Now, as an artist, I could tell you what those issues were, right? So, let's say when I looked at the drawing, I don't know how much you guys can see of my camera. Okay, let's say when I looked at the drawing, all of these highlights were too sharp, right? Because of the curvature of it, because it's a matte material, the highlights will be more perceived as not washed out, but sort of blurred out, right? If you look at that, it's not as sharp, it's more faded across the surface. Let's say I made it sharp. Let's say I didn't have very strong highlights where you actually see the top of the cup hit, you know, the part of the light. Let's say my shadows were a little too weak. And let's say I didn't have imperfections on the surface, like slight stains where when the light hits it, you see you got slightly different shading values according to the imperfections of the surface because of like smudges and stuff like that. Let's say I didn't have all those things. As an artist, I could tell you that's what was wrong with it, right? Because I'm an artist, I know what to look for. The kind of criticism I get from my company is more stuff like, doesn't look realistic enough. What does that mean? What's not realistic about it? It just doesn't look realistic. Yeah, but why? Why doesn't it look realistic? Is it the lighting? Is it the shadows? Like, to me, it looks fine. Because sometimes when you do something, right, it looks fine to you. And even if it doesn't, maybe you can't put your finger on it. But then when someone tells you, oh, it doesn't look realistic, or it doesn't look this thing enough, but then they don't tell you why, that's not helpful criticism, right? Like, you might be able to say it's helpful because you can say, oh, at least people are identifying that it's not realistic. And now me who thought it looked realistic, at least if 9 out of 10 people say it doesn't look realistic, I can say, okay, I still need to work on the realism. But that's the only information I can get from those comments, right? All I can get from that could be considered constructive is that I know now it's not realistic. That's the kind of comments I get from my work, where it's not only that, sometimes I just get really weird comments. I'd say that's probably only 20% of the time. 80% of the time, I get completely useless comments. That is just the person's personal preference, right? That's telling me to do something. I know my face isn't realistic. I got filters on the camera to make myself look less blotchy and stuff. I don't. I was kidding. But yeah, it's like... Because my mate used to say it to me. I have a friend who used to give the worst criticism. And he was like, it's constructive, it's constructive. You need to learn to take criticism. I'm like, I will take a criticism when it's constructive, when it's helpful to me. When your criticism isn't helpful to me, I'm likely going to ignore it because all it's doing is putting me down. And if you can't describe what's wrong with something, you might be wrong with your opinion, right? Because I've said this a million times with your own art. If you are working on your own art, especially when it's not a realistic thing, it's up to you how you want that to look. You can't, like, someone else can tell you what's wrong with it and give you constructive criticism. But if their criticism is their preference and not constructive, that's a different thing, right? If I want a scene to look cool and, or let's say warm. I want a scene to look warm, welcoming, a delightful place to be, I will usually include more oranges, more reds, well, less red, more sort of orange, more warmer tones, because it lets off that warm look. If someone then comes in and goes, I think it should be blue, I think you should have blue on the post-processing, it should look like a cool scene, you know, it should look dreary. I'm like, well, that's not what I'm going for, right? It's not constructive criticism at that point, it's opinionated criticism, which is also a whole different category of things. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes someone's opinion, hello fucking pants, sometimes someone's opinion of what they think would be more artistically pleasing could be right, at least according to the average person. Just make it look good, I didn't even see that. But yeah, like, I don't get because I'm the lead artist in my company, and there's only one other artist in my company who works under me, and then we've got an art director who's more of someone who just says what he wants rather than specifically directing the art, if that makes sense. I don't get a lot of those things. Like the other games. What is that comment? Your face is not realistic. It's not. Anyways, we're talking more about this. So, talking about this. So, this is a castle. It's not really, but it's just a very quick model to explain something. When I was given, as I said earlier, when I was given concept of this, the castle was way more sort of cartoony. By that, what it was a lot more tilted outwards and a lot more funky shape. More like this. Now, does that look good in a proper model? Yes, it looks very cartoony, but it can only be used as a background asset or something that characters can't get on. Why? Because if I needed a character now stand on this, look at the degree it's on. They're going to be walking uphill or downhill no matter where they are. So when I put it into the environment, I made it like this. And then she said to me, it's like, why did you change that? Like, it should be way more flared out, like more cartoony. It doesn't look as cartoony now. And I said to her, I was like, from a concept point of view, because she was like a junior at the time, she is no longer at the company. I wish she was. She was very good. She found better work elsewhere. It's not like she got fired or anything. Yeah, and I said to her, I was like, the problem is I have to look at it like it's a video game. I know that players need to stand on this object, so I know it can only be tilted so much before the players won't really be able to walk up the surface anymore, or without feeling disorientated trying to walk up a slanted surface. And she was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. So yeah, going all the way back to the start of the conversation, a big part of my job isn't necessarily making it look artistically pleasing, it's to make it work, right? I don't know if that comes under technical art or what, or level design maybe, but that's a big part of what I do at my company, is I have to make sure things work and aren't just artistically pleasing. If I can make it work and make it artistically pleasing, then I've accomplished my job. I'm sorry for such a long rant. I got distracted with other things. But yeah, that is what I do. What the heck? Unwrap. I see these are straight. Completely different topic. Wouldn't more audio lanes with your... Completely different topic. Wouldn't more audio lanes which you could turn off be a good thing on stream? Audio lanes as in like... If I had music set to one... What are they? They're not called UC lanes, are they? They're called... Audio inputs, different audio inputs. Is that what you mean? And then I could turn off one and enable another, stuff like that. Or do I not know what an audio lane is? Because I might just not know what audio lane means. Oh, audio lane is comment. Oh, it's a comment, it's a meaning. Audio lane meaning. A line input is an audio socket that is found on the audio interface computer sound card. It's used to connect the external audio device such as... Wait. No, you're probably right. Maybe? I'm not sure. There's a lot of different terms for things. I'm getting audio line as the cable. Do you mean separate audio, like controls? So I could control my voice under one, the music under one. If I had someone in my chat, I could put them under one. Do you mean like that? Hey, I'm new to Blender. Does Blender have a limit to how many pops? Pops? You can have anything. Pops? Oh, props. Do you mean props? No. No. It's all down to how fast your computer is. If you've got like 1 million polygons in your scene, it might run... Actually, 1 million should be fine. I mean, what we at the moment, I don't think this is a very dense scene, but we are at 900,000 polygons. 900,000? 90,000 polygons. I have it duplicated over here, so this scene is actually 45,000, but you could have commentary on one for an event or something and the music on the other. Yeah, I could. I probably should, to be fair. I'm just too lazy. But no, you're right. I probably should. I'm just glad my mic is separated from the background so that way I can change the audio. Oh, wait, that's a thing? So you can separate it out in Twitch, different audio channels. Audio channels. Is that what I was looking for? Is that what you mean? Because that's cool if you could do that. So, like, if someone was listening to me, they could control the different audios their end. Is that what you mean? Or am I completely misunderstanding? Because that's probably what's going on. Yeah, all right, audio channels. Yeah, I think that's the right word, right? What am I doing? I want to do this. You know what? I know quite a few, or knew quite a few. It's been a while since I've talked to a lot of artists in the industry. But I knew quite a few artists in the industry who, oh, that looks nice, who just automatic UV mapped everything. I always found that very weird because like that was like the first thing we were told not to do. Do not automatic UV map. It is bad. Bad, 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 bad. Audio, YouTube is testing it on some videos. Oh, that's cool. That'd be nice. I mean, is that you telling me that one of my audios is too loud? Like, is my music too quiet and I'm too loud, or vice versa? I said that as the music ended, so it's kind of a bad time to mention the music. Convert this. Make sure to unpin, which I didn't even know about till last week. We want to do it on this side, on deselect one, not unselect. Something I saw again recently. So obviously there's the joke about British people having bad teeth. And my teeth aren't terrible, but I haven't been to the dentist in like 3 years because they just, ever since COVID, I can't get in. Like literally every dentist around me, I could literally go on there right now. Dentist near me. Find a dentist. I was about to say my postcode out loud. I shouldn't do that. Only takes NHS patients referred to by another dentist. Not accepting new patients. Not accepting new patients. Only accept referred by another dentist. Not accepting. Only accept referred. Not accepting. Only takes, yeah, other dentist. Not accepting. This one doesn't say not accepting. But it is 6 miles away. Wait. Oh, they've not supplied information. Oh, so they might not be accepting. Like every... Yeah, that's the only one on here. All of them just say they're not accepting. Oh, accepting children, like under the age 17. Maybe I could pretend. Anyways, I saw a post again, or a video again recently, about British people having terrible teeth. And I always find this a really weird thing. And I think it comes down to that Americans do a lot more... Because it's usually Americans said it, but I don't know. I've never heard really European people make as much of a joke out of British people having bad teeth. I usually hear Americans say it. And I think it's because Americans care a lot more about prosthetic teeth-related procedures than they do actually health-related one. Getting your teeth dyed white is not making your teeth healthier, right? It is just dyeing your teeth white. Same with, they file down teeth in America. At least when I remember watching a video, do dentists file down teeth? Yeah, so when you see people with like that perfect smile, it's because the dentist has filed them all down to be perfectly aligned. That and braces. I think on average, Americans have worse... Yeah, Americans do, on average, have worse oral hygiene than the average British person. It's about half. We have, or double, they have double the amount of cases of bad teeth than we do, especially in children. I looked this all up. You guys can research it if you want. So I find it funny, but then I looked up how many people get their teeth whitened... Oh, that is not what I meant to search. How many people get their teeth whitened, UK versus US. 14% of Americans... Now, I don't think teeth whitening is a bad thing. I want to clarify. I just want to... sources, trust me, right? You can go online. I can show you sources if you want. But I literally looked it up earlier. 14% of Americans dye their... Or get teeth whitening. Dye, whitening, whatever you want to call it. Now, I don't think this is a bad thing. If you want your teeth to look whiter, that's fine. But it does not mean your teeth are healthier. It just means they're whiter. Slightly yellow tinted teeth are perfectly healthy. Only 3% of people in the UK get their teeth whitened. 3 in every 100 people versus 14 in every 100 people. And I bet that's what causes it. We do a lot less vanity slash... what's the word I'm looking for? Prosthetic? Nope. That's not the word I'm looking for. What's it called in like games where they have skins and they don't give you an advantage? It's a what are purchases in games called that don't give advantages? I know it's a microtransaction. Cosmetic. They do a lot more cosmetic procedures than we do in the UK. Buongiorno. Hey, Cook, how's it going, man? How's it going, my hard-rocking amigo? That is a terrible... Is it because it's pinned? It was because it's pinned. That is also terrible because I've not done a normal unwrap. Oh, that looks pretty good. Oh, you know what? We're keeping that. I thought I was going to have to slightly fix that, but that's a pretty good unwrap. Good fix by yourself. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm feeling a little rough today. But I made myself a banging ramen earlier. It was so good. Not my best. Make a channel called Steve's Recipes. I just love food. This was my dinner today. Super nice. It was, you can't actually even see the noodles. So I used, is the noodles there? I used buckwheat noodles, which is apparently what a lot of people recommend for ramen. I've not used them before. They were nice. I still think I prefer normal, soba buckwheat noodles, sorry. I think I prefer normal egg noodles though, but that's just me. Buckwheat noodles, they still tasted very good, so I love noodles. If I probably can find a picture of a buckwheat noodle. There you go, yeah, I like these. Kind of look like spaghetti. Basic soba buckwheat. Yeah, it was pretty good. And then I had... well, I took too long to take a picture of the seaweed, but I had seaweed on the side that usually when I'm eating, I then drag a bit of it off into some of what I'm eating. I had sirloin steak cooked to, unfortunately, medium. I will usually like it almost rare, but I cooked it for a tiny bit too long. To be fair, it kind of turned into medium while sitting in the broth, so obviously greens of spring onion at the top, and then spring onions actually in the broth that have been fried first. Same with the lean beans, green beans, and then I've got watercress on top. I've got seasoning on my steak, which is just a generic seasoning with then garlic salt with that too. I've then got black sesame seeds on top of that in the broth. I've also got some seasoning I like pepper, salt, garlic. Oh, I fried up garlic in it as well. I fried up the green onions, the lean beans, and then... and then bamboo shoots. There's loads of bamboo shoots in there. I love... If you guys have never tried bamboo shoots, out of the can, weirdly enough, to me, they have sort of a dairy taste or a milky taste. Most people probably would completely disagree with that, but I don't know what it is. They just... Tasting like a... I'm trying to, like, pretend like I'm tasting one now. Tasting like a... for anyone who's not had one, to me, a bamboo shoot straight from the can tastes, weirdly enough, like really, really weak milk, I guess. It was, like, strange. But when you put it in a broth, you keep it in a hot broth for, like, 10 minutes, and it absorbs all the flavor of the broth. So you bite into it, and it's just, like, this explosion of flavor. It's so nice. I think there's probably some other bits in there, but I'll put the, you know what? I'll put the recipe in chat. I did put it down. It was good. Freaking, you know what though? And then the broth is made up with stock cubes, with soy sauce, sugar, and then salt, pepper, garlic powder, garlic salt, garlic granules, whatever you want to use. I do have the recipe somewhere. It was a recipe I found online, and then I heavily changed it because I didn't like half the stuff they had in it. Like, they used sugar snaps I don't like. They didn't season the broth except for just putting stock cubes and soy sauce in it. They didn't put any seaweed in it. They did put a lot of stuff in it, so I altered the recipe quite a lot for what I like. They didn't even have bamboo shoots in the recipe. It's like my favorite thing. I love bamboo shoots, and they're really good for you, I think. There you go. Oh, I should call it like steak ramen. Let me see. Vegetable oil or... Oh, Jesus. Hey. You're right. You scared me. You look happy about scaring me. She scared me. I want to see how I reacted in the stream. Video games didn't scare me, but I will get startled here and there in real life. Especially when something wet hits your elbow when you don't know it's there. Oh, she's just gone. I want to get back. How do I react? Oh, I didn't actually jump that much. I just sort of turned around with like an angry look on my face. I was like, Dogo just... I am a panda. I love freaking bamboo. Yeah, she does that. That was Ruby, right? I think that might have been Ruby. I didn't really pay attention. I have 2 dogs. Well, I don't. This is my parents' house. It's their dogs. Well, actually, it's a long story, but I won't go into it. Yeah, she likes to come in to say hi and then just randomly leave. I think I could just unwrap this like this, right? Yeah? What about angle-based? About the same. Oh, excuse me. What was I talking about? The food? Ramen's great. I make sushi as well. If you guys have never seen the sushi I make, I definitely don't think I make it amazingly. I make noodles a lot. Like this. What was this I made? This was like chili noodles. Oh, yeah. It was like avocado. It was like loads of leftover things. Seaweed, avocado, rocket. Then it was like normal noodles with a like chili sauce, honey, soy sauce for the actual sauce for it. Then there was loads of sesame seeds in there. There was random vegetables like green onions and onions. And then I also had fried, like dehydrated onions scattered on top. That was good. Yeah, just steak with noodles. Oh, udon noodles are top notch. If you guys have never had udon noodles, steak, udon noodles with vegetables, and then green parts of green onion on the top with asparagus, noodles. Doggo. I don't know why Doggo's in the food or other people posting food. Donuts. Ooh. More random dinners. Oh, chips. That was the dirty fries I made. Yeah, more ramen. Where's the sushi? Do I not often post it in here? That was delicious. Frozen pizza. That was weird. So that's avocado mixed with some stuff. I mashed it up into like a sauce. That was super weird, did it? But yeah, sort of chili rice, same sort of seasoning I put in my noodles when I have chili noodles. I just want to find the sushi, because sushi's really difficult to make. Well, yeah, I'd say that it's difficult to make. Bruh. More ramen. As you can tell, I really like Japanese cuisine. I like any cuisine that's not British. I think British food sucks. Like, I don't get how people get so excited about roast. And then you ask people, what's your favorite part? Oh, the potatoes. potatoes, oil and potatoes, because it's just like roast potatoes. Like, it's just like 1 or 2 flavors. There's not even seasoning on them. Again, people can make what they want, but as a Brit, I agree. It's just boring. Oh, there you go. Wow, I've not posted sushi for... I make sushi. Wow. Wow. I make sushi like once every 2-3 weeks. I must just thought you guys would... people in chat would hate grandma food. Yes! Yeah. Yeah, potatoes. Just roasted potatoes is grandma food. That's a great way to put it. Here we go. Does this show my personal details if I do this? Oh. Oh, come on. I want to see the last time I made sushi. Oh, that was the first time I made sushi. I had like the proper plates and everything for it. Then I got, not lazy, there's just no need putting it in the plates. Oh, I haven't taken much pictures of sushi here either. There you go, let's get that one. Boom. Oh, hey Adam, how's it going, man? I'm looking at food with the chat. Yeah, this is the sushi I make. That plate's a little bit tragic. Yeah, I love sushi. I mean, because I'm making it myself, I go a little bit cheap sometimes and go crab sticks. But when I properly do it, I go to man. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good. Look at this. Look at this ramen. You should drop by a Discord more. You do. I've been lazy with streaming. This is, if you didn't see earlier, this is the recent ramen I had. Wow, the colors are so much more vivid with my new camera, my new phone camera. Food is great. I love food. Food is like my second favorite thing behind video games. How's work going? I feel like you gave me news on your work, but I can't fully remember. Yeah. Good guess. I say that to people all the time. If you're ever doing like a big scene, just dye your like UV map stuff a different color, because probably want angle based. Because you'll just fake yourself later. When you when you know you've actually done everything. If this is all white, I'd be like, wait, so what have I done? You know what I mean? Hey Mark, how's it going? New job now, mate. That was it. Work over at End Dreams on VR stuff. That sounds awesome. It's going great though, really enjoyable, and everyone is super talented. Man, I wish I'd love to work somewhere with a lot of other talented people. As I've said before, I'm the lead at my company, and I've never worked anywhere before. So despite not working anywhere before, and being, I'm basically a graduate, right? But yeah, I'm a lead. It's tough at times because I wish I had someone I could look up to and learn from, but I don't have that. I learn from my friend who I work with. But he's in the same boat as me. He's not worked anywhere else. He's... Oh. Why does this UV map look terrible? What happened? Huh? That looks terrible, right? Like, that's... Oh. Because I'm not in unwrap. Oh, bugger. I've marked every, thingy. There we go. Conformal. Doing the simple ones first. Like this. This is literally just... Oh, it's got a thickness. Did you know you don't have to type... Oh, I know I don't have to type in Mark Seam. People come in and tell me that all the time. I like writing mark seam, because the thing with mark seam as well is you've got Shift R, which replicates the last thing you did, right? So if I just like go to type it in, or I could just push F3, look, because it's the last thing I wrote, it's faster, to be honest, now. Because, oh, so it won't be the last thing I wrote now. Oh, no, it will be, yeah. So, like, look, I just have to do this now. So it's just one button and enter. That's why I like typing. It's why I like typing a few commands in. Because I know, wow, why does it say this? So this is bugged out. Look how many tries it says there are in this scene. Full-time art student lately. Some freelance here and there. Oh, okay. But yeah, thank you for the advice. But I intentionally type it because after typing it once, I can basically use it like it's a hotkey. The command is it M? I can't remember, because if you actually write mark seam, it should, oh, Control E. So if I push Control E, then you can go mark seam. But even then, it takes longer. Know what I mean? Whereas if I've typed it, it's literally just instantly. Instantly. Know what I mean? There's a couple... There's a couple of things I do that is a bit obscure. People tend to ask, like, say to me, "Oh, why do you do it this way? You know, you can do it this way." And it's almost always a reason, but I'm always willing to hear a better way to do it, and then I can determine if that way works better than the way I do it. Some people have in the past got a little bit irritated, because they're like, "No, your way's worse." I'm like, "Well, it works for me." Oh, that's way too high poly. Oh well. Wasn't the last thing I wrote, unfortunately. Oh my god. Here? Here. There you go. It's like unwrap right. That's such a fast command. It's just you left click, you left click. There's no going through the menus. Anybody who gets that worked up over small things probably lack experience. Yeah, some people just, I don't know. There are just times where some people don't like seeing you do something a way that's not their own. You know, I've done the same thing to an extent in Maya, so I'll show you. I didn't actually get worked up over it. My friend got worked up over it. He got annoyed at me because he's like, "I'll do it the way I want to do it." I was like, "Oh, well, okay, I'll just, you know, some advice." And I'll show you what it was, because it's funny, because afterwards he came over to me and was, how did you do that thing? So I'll show you what it was. Oh. As soon as I enabled, like, let me freaking disable the magic UVs. Get out of here. It keeps, like, going further down the menu. So I didn't think that was going to look very good. I mean, it's not terrible. It will still work on a UV sheet. Just leave it like that. Make this the color. All right, so my friend was doing. Now, I can't technically replicate it because we're in Blender, not Maya, but I can give you an example. So in Maya, you've got a tool called a pen to polygon. Jesus, to polygon. A pen to polygon. What a pen to polygon does, I'm a big fan of pie menus. As in, like, the ones that go in a circle and you load it up, like in Maya, or... You know what? I know pi, pi to 11 decimal places? 3.1415926... 3.141592653589979. 14 decimal places. Don't ask me why I know that. I don't know. Anyways, so my friend was using a tool called append to polygon. This tool lets you click one face and then click another face, and when you click the other face, it will fill it in, right? So he was going click, 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 click. He wasn't filling because it was automatically filling in Maya. So all you had to do was click both ends, right? And I went over to him watching him do this one by one, and I went, "Hey man, you know you can, like, just select all the edges and then deselect the ends and then bridge, right? And it was like, I'll do it my way. I want to do it this way. I was like, oh, you know, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure you knew that tool was there. Literally 5 minutes later, rolls over to my, because I'm in class, he rolls over to where I am in the class. He's just like, how did you do that bridge tool? And I was like, okay. And I roll back to his desk. Like, all you gotta do is, it's in this menu up here, blah blah blah. I found it for him, and you just gotta click it, and it will bridge. Oh, it will bridge it for you. And he was like, okay. So yeah, there are some occasions where people will likely be able to tell me something that is actually a better way of doing something. There's probably loads of small things I actually do in the engine that was from you guys telling me a better way. I unfortunately can't remember any of them. But yeah, like, it's always helpful to hear, like, what other people have as a workflow, because sometimes that workflow will match something that's better, that's something you would do, right? Like, we develop our own workflows out of what we know, not necessarily what's our preference, because sometimes we don't know tools that more align with our preference. So when someone appears and says, oh, you can do it this way, you know, you're like, oh, like, there's always feel free to tell me, Steve, there's a better way to do it. And I have the freedom to tell you, no, I don't like that way. And then I'll say, I'm going to do it my way still for this particular reason. What would it look like if I just do the edges here? Seam, unwrap. So, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's because it flares out. So I could mark the seams here too. That did nothing. I mean, it works. I'm just worried at how warped that's going to be. We can actually review how warped it's going to be by doing this, doing this. It's a little warped. That should be fine. It's mostly block colors. Like, sometimes with block colored scenes, people will literally scale it down and just put it on a value of a color, right? So, like, actually, I can show an example here. So, for example, if you had a scene that was just 2 types of gray. Oh, actually, it's got colors. So, if I wanted to dye this color, look. And because we are doing a block color scene, it probably won't matter too much about slightly warped UVs. I'm going on rants today. Jesus. Have any of you played Getting Over It by Bennett Forney? 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 Bennett Foddy. That's it. This is facing away from me. Usually I'd put the seam here. See, I've not even got a photo frame there because it faces away from the camera. You don't actually see it. So I'm actually going to put the seam here where I would usually... So the reason... I'll show you. The reason you put the seam at the back is because it's the place you'll see the least. Let's be at the bottom. Wait, this isn't converted? Oh, this is not unwrapped correctly then. Huh? Oh my god. Yes, okay. Clear seam. Yeah, so the reason you usually put it at the back is because if we saw if a seam appeared here, like if that had a really bad seam to it, you wouldn't see it, right? Because it's where it goes sort of away from the camera. If I had the seam here and it looked really bad, like I said, it's wood grain, you'll easily see it. Now, if I did see an angle from here, you might see it, but what are the chances you'll see it from here, right? We are rendering the seam from here, so I want most of the seams to be away from the camera. In fact, if I really wanted to be optimal, I could literally just delete this back face. Right? Because you'll likely never see it. But because I like making my scenes, I would like to make it so you guys can download it and fly around. I want there to be backs to things. Because I want... If you guys can fly around, I think that'd be really cool. This This is a lot of bevels on it. On 3. 3? Yeah, 3. Oh well. It's a smooth shape. Three, or does that count as 2? I'm looking at it now. Oh wait, what am I doing? I only need 1 on each end. You guys been watching anything new? You guys watched Oppenheimer? That movie came out of nowhere. I had never heard about it, and then out of basically nowhere, everyone started talking about it. I was like, nobody has started talking about this movie. Is it even pronounced Oppenheimer? Oppenheimer? Sorry for my pronunciations. But yeah, out of nowhere. Oh, you watched Ip Man? Oh, heck yeah. Ip Man's great. Yeah, I don't know what people watch that. People really enjoyed the Barbie movie too, which I thought was understandable. I thought it looked pretty good, I'll be honest. Looked like a fun little movie. What have I watched recently? I'm rewatching an anime because I can't remember the story and the second season came out. Watched another anime called Dr. Stone, which is a fantastic anime. If anyone wants to get into anime and they like science and they don't want an anime that's generic, like ooh la la boobies, you know, because animes for some reason usually have some sort of fan service. I mean, I can't blame animes for having fan service when literally Western shows have fan service. Like, how many movies and TV shows do they just throw in a sex scene and you're like, what is this adding? Like, I have to sit here for 5 minutes while these people are like making out, and then it's gonna cut and show me the scene after them waking up. Like, huh? That adds nothing to the story. I remember seeing someone else complain about this, and I was like, yes, because I've always said the same thing. I don't like sex scenes in movies and TV shows because it just feels like it's filler. It just feels like nothing. Like, you could just insinuate that they had sex or something. I don't care. Don't actually give me a 5-minute scene when it's only a 30-minute show, because you're taking, what's the maths there? 20%? No. 13.3% of that episode, boom, just gone to a sex scene. I'm like, great. It's not even usually a 30-minute show, right? She's about 25 minutes because ads usually on TV, so they get a little bit shorter. Yeah, I don't like sex scenes in movies or TV shows. But anyways, I was talking about anime. Yeah, if you want to show that's anime, if you want to try to get into anime and you want to show that doesn't have any of that sort of weird fan servicey stuff that anime tend to have, or sometimes have, I wouldn't say tend to have. Yeah, watch Dr. Stone. Really, really good. Very, very based on science, and it's awesome because I love science. You watch Soul? I've never watched Soul. What else have I watched? I haven't watched any superhero movies in too long. What was the last one I watched? Guardians? Yeah? Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That was really good. You bought one for Oppenheimer. I have no idea if that's how you say it. But forgot to go. Oh, no. I've been told by everyone it's amazing. I didn't even know it existed. And everyone keeps telling me about it. And I'm like, oh. What do you think, Adam? I had an idea of this scene that I wanted to just... I wanted to literally, because it's all block color, put everything onto one texture sheet. Not even use it like an atlas. Just put everything onto one texture sheet. And then go into Substance with all the assets on one texture sheet and just start painting. Because, again, it's like mostly block colored. If I show you, I should show you the actual image. It's block colored with some shading, which I could make the shading come from actually lighting the scene right. It's got kind of blotchiness here. But I thought that'd be really fun to see how it would go if I just painted everything like it was, like from one UV map. I'll make it like 4K or something. I hate going to movie theaters. I want to watch it. You know what? For anyone who's American or anyone who's not English, right? In England, people are usually quite... You'll get sometimes people get excited when watching a movie, but for example, when I watch Spider-Man Homecoming... No Way Home, sorry. I don't want to actually say that because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't watched it. So instead, I'm going to say, imagine watching... I'm trying to think of a movie, an old movie that I can't spoil that people would get excited over a scene in it. I don't know. Imagine watching Toy Story and and why was it the other one? Oh, when they fly through the air and land in Andy's car, right? I see like American theaters and freaking people jump out their seats. Yeah! Woo! Like they go freaking mental. And some people like that, right? My brother, my twin brother apparently likes that. I don't. When I watch something, I want to enjoy it, right? And in English theaters, you don't get a lot of that thingy. Sometimes you'll get like a, or, you get like a little bit, right? But you won't usually get, or maybe a gasp, but you won't usually get a much of interference from the people watching the movie. And I love that. If we were more like some videos I see of Americans watching movies, I'd never want to go to the theater. I'd never ever want to go to the theater because it's just too much. I want to go to the theater to enjoy the movie, not enjoy the audience. I get why some people like that, especially like when you get to watch sports games, right? You get into the mood with all the audience. They're all up and screaming, enjoying themselves, but you don't need to hear what's going on whatever you're watching, on the ice, on the field, whatever. Hockey, football, American football, rugby, whatever. You don't need to hear what's going on. In a movie, you do. Something exciting happens, and then the main character says something really important, and he's just like, "I've got to tell you one thing," and then all the audience and everyone in the cinemas just go, "Whoa, yeah!" and you're just like, "What's he saying? What did he just say to the other character?" Yeah, that's too. I like analyzing it at my own pace. But yeah, like from my experience in the UK, you just don't get screaming and stuff in the cinema, and I love that. It's just everything I like being proud to be British over, that is one thing. I'm not extremely proud of being British because I'm not really a patriotic person. I've always said I didn't really care where I was born because we're all kind of just the same. It's never really bothered me. But one thing I can say that I like being English for is how quiet we are in the cinema. It's a weird one to be happy about, but we do there, like that. That almost looks really good until we get this sucker right here. Wow, what does he look like that? That's a little bit straighter. What if I select the whole thing and do that? Ooh, no, that looks way worse. I mean, that's definitely straighter. That's good enough. Oh, I haven't even done the whole thing. Whoops. Oh. The Notpack Island? What? Oh, what's this? Oh, whoops. Wait. No, yeah. We'll go angle base and then we'll select these guys. Make these guys conformal. No, it doesn't look very good conformal. We'll just go U. And go conformal. There you go. We're going to pack them all later. If we like average island scale and then pack, we can. Why is it coming up with these settings? I don't remember any of these. I mean, it works. Is that because I've turned on the magic one? What does this mean? What's convex mean? Oh wait, I want to unwrap that. Like that. Was it already like that? Oh, it was already like that. It's fine. Yeah, we're going to be putting it all into one map anyway, so boom. Now, I don't know if putting it onto one map will be a good idea. I just think it'd be really interesting to see. What time is it? Okay. I like how introverted we all are. What does that mean in the cinema when nobody's getting excited? I just find it weird. I could never be that loud. I think that's the way I would describe some American people I know. It's just they're sometimes can be very loud. Now, don't get me wrong, people consider me a loud person, right? I don't know if you guys consider me a loud person. I'm considered a loud person because I speak quite loudly. I project my voice quite loudly. I don't particularly know why. I just have always had a very projected voice. But I don't scream. You know what I mean? I'm not like, whoa, yeah. I'm just talking loudly. You know, I never really exceed talking loudly. Sometimes I'll play a game and make some noise, but it won't usually be very loud. Yeah. Our impression of the UK is considerably grey skies and everybody's suppressed and cynical. I mean, that's 50% accurate. I feel like the British tend to get considered a little bit more cynical than they actually are, because I do think we're a little cynical. Oh, hello, doggy. Which one are you? Oh, you're Ruby. Hello. All right. Up. Up. Come on. Yeah. Say hi to everyone. She won't make noises. You're right, you heard me talking up here. You're gonna leave now. Bye. I wonder if she's come to tell me something. I'll be right back. Hello. Doggies are good. Just making sure they weren't coming upstairs to tell me anything. Listening only, ah. How's it going, Letterborn? Roast potatoes done well are fire. I never saw that, but I don't agree. They're okay. Like, I did. Doing nothing to your potatoes and just frying them, I just don't think it's amazing. It's just boring. But that's just my opinion at the end of the day. If you think they taste amazing, then you think they taste amazing. Kind of like I just wanted to say hi. Hello. How's your streams been going? Oh, that's why I didn't do this side. Same over here. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Are you watching anything good recently, Letterbomb? I'm going to ask you a few questions. I'm going to ask you a few questions, miss. Hello, hello, hello. What have we here then? Join. Hey, look, it's all green. Grab the parts. Oh. You know what? I have something that, like, I think it's... I've got to go let Steve. Have a go on, man. Thank you for joining as long as you did. Any seconds you guys can spend in my streams is much appreciated. Especially when you guys are so chill. Very nice to me. Like, except from the occasional person who comes in and tries to demand something. Or tells me off because I'm not a good enough artist. You're not doing this the way I want you to do it. Apart from those people, yeah, you guys are usually very lovely to me. Going into a game. See you later. Are you playing some League? Hold on a minute. I'm going to spectate. Here we see Letterbomb in her natural habitat in League of Legends. Here we can see she's playing the support class. I'm not actually watching yet, but I can only assume she's playing the support class because she said she plays support. Where is she? There she is. Oh, you're in chat select. I gotta wait. It's a U shape. I'd want to unwrap it from the top with it connecting at the bottom. Can you guys visualize UV mapping? Connected at the top. Right, so all I need to do is this, and then it unfolds from there downwards. It's gonna look a little bit jank, I think, but it should mostly be good. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. Angle based? Yeah, pretty good. And then we want to... Oh, what's that? What is that? Is that a sign? The cloud. It moves. Boom. Pack. Something that one of my friends said recently, which I find very interesting, and maybe he might be here right now, and he'd be like, "Oh, Steve's talking about me." I'm not going to say something positive. I'm not going to say something negative either. So he had a friend, or has a friend, and they kept asking him questions, not about me, but something I could answer, because they've started to learn Blender. Now, if I said to you guys, someone is trying to contact me about wanting to learn something, I don't know how many of you are here to answer this, but I'll wait. If I said someone was trying to contact me, for how much you guys know me, and someone was trying to contact me because they wanted help with how to use the software, do you think, or how do you think I'd feel about that? And would I want to help them? And if I did, would I feel good about it, or did it annoy me? Like, what do you guys think? Why is this so small? Oh, it's those parts. What about this part? Yeah, okay, cool. That's good. That is good. So these all sort of come to a point here, which isn't the best, but I don't think it matters. I mean, I could go about... I really want... I'll wait a couple of minutes, see if anyone replies. If not, I'll just tell you how I feel about it. But I feel like people who've watched me for long enough should know exactly how I'd feel about somebody wanting help from me. If I do that, it's obviously going to come through here. The back's looking pretty good, but here isn't. So we need to essentially, I could bind those and flatten like that, and then separate. they now all fit in there perfectly. They might not align with the reference now, but at least from a perspective of actually looking correct, they align all correctly. Almost. There's a slight bit of clipping actually. We can resolve some of that by selecting in front of this. Green. Why? Hold on a minute, I just realized that's not flat at the top. There you go. We want to move it just teeny tiny, ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. Okay, so these are going to be super easy to unwrap. Let's combine all of it together. Actually, let's select all of these. Do a quickie bevel. Because sharp edges are my enemy. Not 0.05. No. 0.01. Nope. 0.005. 0.003. 0.002, and then we put a lovely little weighted normal plonk, and we're good. Unnecessary, maybe a little, but it looks nice. Look at these, crisp. All right, so, oh nice, my oh no, my League of Legends does have audio. No. Have any of you ever played League of Legends? So where is Letterborn? Letterborn is Milo. I don't know how Milo works. What the heck? What percentage is that? Milo slows people for 41% of her AP. 41%? Why is it so... such a random number? Oh, we couldn't balance her enough. Quick, give her 1% extra slow. What kind of elo is this? Can I check? I don't think I can. At least not easily. Those of you who don't know, I'm a pretty big League of Legends gamer. I think so anyway. Level. Weighted normal. Yes. Level too strong. Still too strong scale. Nice. Yeah, I'm a pretty big League of Legends gamer. It's not my go-to game. It's not even my favorite game. It's just a game that was easy to play with friends. Personally, that's why I played it. And I feel like a lot of people know that feeling of you play a particular game because it's the only game you can play with your friends. League of Legends was that game for me. It was a game that it was easy to play with my friends, and that's really the only reason. This is like clamped in the middle. I don't know if that's done intentionally, but yeah, it is. But if I do this, reapply the weighted normal, smooth, there you go. Yeah, I don't know if that was intentional, but it didn't look very good. I mean, if it was intentional, I could have done this to make it smoother, which does look kind of cool. What does the reference look like? Hello. You right? You're back up. Doggy. No, doggy, come back. Come on. Why'd you come upstairs if you didn't want to get... You're not comfortable, are you? There you go. Come on, a camera. You don't like being picked up. She does sometimes, actually. Alright, I'll put you down. Come on. Alright. She comes up like she's trying to tell me something. But I don't know if they are. Maybe they're trying to tell me they did dookie in the garden. And they want me to go clean it up for them. But I wait for their rightful owners to do that. AKA my parents. So one way I could do this is I could just go boom, boom, and then you select one edge, and then you deselect the front edges. But I've already selected these edges, so all I need to do is select each edge on the side. So if we go 1, 2, 3. See, this is why UV mapping's like first, and then duplicating it is usually the way to go. You don't have to. I mean, it's not going to take me very long, admittedly, but. Going back to the corner where I first saw you, can't be my sleeping bag, I'm not gonna move. God, that's an old song. Who's that by? Got some words on cardboard, got your picture in my head saying, if you see this girl, can you tell her where I am? The man who can't be moved, the script, that's it. I'm not broke, I'm just a broken-hearted man. No, it makes no sense, but what else can I do? How can I move on when I'm still in love with you? Okay, so, conformal? Oh, because they're like slanted. Maybe I should remodel these, because they should... So the way that I've modeled them, if it's not obvious, is I feel like I should have just done this and rotated them, but the way I clearly have done it is I've done this, which is a very, very different effect. Sorry, itchy nose. I feel like I shouldn't have done that, and I kind of just want to redo them to be slanted instead. Now, the beauty of redoing it is, one, it will look better, but two, never be afraid to redo work, by the way. Now, I say that in an interesting way, right? Because never be afraid to redo work. However, don't just scrap things that don't need to be scrapped. That's very, very counter to each other, right? Because, yeah, what is going on with these shapes? Because if you keep scrapping things over and over again because you don't think they're good enough, then you'll never ever get anything finished. But if you also don't ever scrap anything, even when it looks terrible, then you can't polish a turd, as people say. You can't make something that's rubbish look amazing when it's just going to look rubbish. So you need to know at what point you want to increase its quality and what point it's not worth it anymore. Does that make sense? It's very, very important to know when that is. Boom, 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 boom. I feel like a lot of that comes down to practice. The more you do work, the more you'll realize when something feels like it's a waste of time and something feels like it isn't. As much as I want to tell everybody, just spend as long as you want. It's like if something takes, if a model takes you a year to make one model, that's fine as long as it looks good. But you'll never get a job doing that, right? If you want to have a job in this industry, you need to be good and fast. scrapping something over and over again until you get perfection is going to increase the time it takes to make anything. So it's one of those things that you have to decide if something's worth scrapping or if it's good enough. If something, right, so the way I look at it, if something's 90% of the way there, I usually just keep it because that's good enough. If it's 90% of the way, that is good enough for me. I don't really care. I don't think past 90%, it's going to bother me that much. Some people, it has to be 99%. And it's as long as it's within 99% and 100%, they don't care. But if it's any less than 99%, they will redo it. They'll keep scrapping it. They'll keep working on it until they get to the 99% point. And that's, you know what? That's fine if you're just a prop artist. If you're an environment artist and you need to make 50 assets in 25 weeks, you have 2.5 days per asset, right? I don't even usually get that long, I want to clarify. I'm under very, very strict time frames at my company. Hold on a minute, I've overlaid them and I don't know which ones are which. Are the right ones? Oh yeah, it's the ones that would have the sharp edges on in a minute. You. Oh. You. Invert. Delete the rest. Unwrap these. Perfect. Conformal? Doesn't really matter. Angle base. We want it to also be a part of the basket, so we need to unwrap that. What time is it? I'll end at probably 10. Because it is a Friday. I have worked all day. So I'd like a little bit of fun time. Sending someone inappropriate memes. Wait, was it on my screen? Oh, was it? I was about to say, wait, did you guys just see the conversation? It's not that inappropriate. If it's in a Giphy, they don't have explicit things in the Giphy. Giphy? Is that what's called on the side of Discord? How's Letterborn doing? They are 1 kill up. Heck yeah. Oh, 2 kills up. Heck yeah. That. Rain. And it's just like this, no? Yeah, then it's like this. Without the bottom. It's like this without the bottom. Mark those. Mr. Seam. And then this and this. Mark those. And then I actually don't need to... Wait. Oh, wait. Yeah. Is that right? Yeah, that looks good. 4 more. Oh, that looks even better. Cool. Now let's grab this with all of these to it. Combine. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Boom. Nice. Combine. Nice. Convert. Average. Pack. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah. Cool. Save. Is that this color? UV mapping surprisingly takes time, right? Like, it's one of those things that you just don't... You're like, oh, you know, UV mapping's easy. I mean, if we got rid of this background... Oh, get rid of this... This on the floor. That's how much we basically got left. So we're pretty far in. The background makes it look like we've got a lot more. Why does it look different when I review it, though? That is something. Is it because of that? Is. This, I thought... Oh, it is a different shape. Oh, okay. So it's not that hard at all. So all we got to do... Oh, we got... Hold on a minute, is that part of the shape too? Oh, it is. Huh. All we got to do is one. I don't need all these faces back here. Don't need this one. In fact, I probably don't even need this, right? If I select the back, do that, delete that, and instead just pull this face back, make it so it clips inside the wall. That should look pretty good. I'll slightly pull it in too. Match up with the bevel of the wall. So like this. Now we have that really clean bit there. Very cool. Now, the problem with this is if we unwrap this, it's going to be very, very long. Maybe I'll put this on a separate texture because it's literally just the walls and floor. But for now, I guess I'll just do the unwrap as I would a normal object. You see, it comes through really, really long. We got the floor. Now, do I need the floor like this because I want to put planks on top? We'll unwrap it as normal, and then I can decide later. So we've got a bottom to it. We don't need a bottom to it. But I want people to be able to fly around the scene, so I do want a bottom to it. Because of that reason. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, 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 this. I forgot this part existed. It's probably not going to work because of that. No, that looks pretty good. We need this. We got to cut this. Yeah. Cut this. We've got to go boom. Oh, it's not got a bottom. Oh. Interesting. Then I'm probably just going to do this. Alrighty then. Perfect. Then we're going to set this. This is another interesting one. Probably going to do that as a separate bit. Not got a bottom, does it? Nope. And probably just this. See, things aren't being marked all of a sudden. Do you notice this? Or pinned, sorry. So now it's going to look like I've done a lot more work because boom, all that gets to be green. Yeah, looks like I've done way more. And that makes me happier. Boom. 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 Yeah. Nice. Table is a little bit more of a complicated one. Not very complicated, just a little bit more complicated. Anyways, no one answered, but the person, someone asking me, oh, do you, like, this person wants help, whatever. This person I was talking to said he got annoyed with them for asking, they kept asking if I could help them, or for help in general, like answers to things. And he said he got annoyed at them because it's not fair on me. And I was sitting there like, I don't care if people ask me questions. I like people asking me about 3D. There are sometimes annoying people, as I said in chat, like when people try to tell me, Steve, you have to do it this way because this is the only way you should do it. And I'm like, no, I like doing it this way. There are some annoying 3D people, but if someone's learning how to use Blender, I want to help them. Like, send them over. That's what I do. So yeah, I don't know. My friend was like, yeah, I told him off for you because it's not fair on you. And I was like, thanks. I mean, to be fair, I'm not, you know, I'm happy that he's thinking about me. But in reality, I want to help people as much as I can. At the end of the day, we're kind of alone in this industry. You know, it's sometimes really hard to find people that help you, especially for free. And I understand that. At the end of the day, people don't like their time being wasted with somebody, and they like their time being compensated. I can get behind that. If someone wants to pay me to help them, I'll take that pay. But if someone wants small bits of help, just little bite-sized bits of help, I'm completely fine giving that away for free. And I want to help people. It's just an interesting one that my friend thought I wouldn't want to. Because again, we are in an industry where people don't usually want to help each other. Pretty sure one of the first things one of my teachers said to me about helping about helping people was that he didn't recommend it or something like that because that's good. No, we'll leave it at that. It's because, you know, other people can get if you teach people everything you know, then they will have an advantage over you because they've not taught you everything they know. But I just don't look at it like that. We should all be willing to teach each other, help each other, push each other up, or pull each other up to each other's levels, so that way we can all be good. But then at the end of the day, I guess the more people that are on the same level, the less chance you're going to be hired. Because the more people that are on your level or higher means you're worse or the same level as them, meaning they could pick any of you. So I get the mentality, but if I was told that I can have a job I really, really want, like, oh, you can have a job at Naughty Dog, you'd be trying to think, but you're never allowed to help people ever again, I would probably have to decline, because I just don't think that's nice. I don't know. Like, I'd want to decline anyway. Obviously, we sometimes fell to temptations, and if I was offered something that good, maybe I'd say yes. But I wouldn't feel happy about it. Because, yeah, we should want to help each other, man. The more we help each other, the more we can all get better. If we all get better at something, it means we can push past limitations that we have had in whatever field you're looking into, whether it's video games, video game creation, or in anything. The more you help each other, the better you will all be, the more you can get all better at that particular thing. I've always think that the best area for video games was Flash games. Flash games have a special place in my heart because it was like the goal. It was just a part of video games where people were just making free games, and they weren't being paid for it. They were just making free games. They were thinking of an idea, they were passionate about it, and then they made it, put it somewhere where you could play it for free because they wanted you to enjoy their passion project. That is so cool. Oh wait, I should average first. Whoa, what is that? Oh, I need to do the handles. I mean, here. What about here? Yeah, here. Here. Maxime, unwrap. That's fine. Right, cool. What time is it? I'll end the stream relatively soon. One place. Garden Scale. Pack Island. Yeah. Why has it kept them rotated? That's interesting. Rotate. So if I turn off rotate. Yeah, right. So if we align them first. Like this. I don't really care if that's that way. I just wanted to not rotate. And then we do it. Yeah, look at that. That's cool. Sweet. What could be done quick? Probably this. Ah. What if anyone's still at work? Nope. We have an online office. Because we all work from home. I was curious if anyone... Ooh. If anyone's still at work. Convert mesh. Does it not convert? Oh, right. Because it's... Which one do I want to select first? Oh, last then. So I want to probably select top last and then do that. Yes, perfect. Wow, that's high poly. Oh, well. That's clipping with the top and bottom, right? Is it? Because it's going to be glass, probably, I will not get rid of the top. I will cut it out. Like this, just to make it easier. The question is here, do we do this? Yeah. Do we do that? Mark seam? What does that look like? Oh. You know what? Not too bad. Not too bad. Oh, I haven't joined that. Whoops. Boom, boom, boom. Mark seam. I still think Mark Seam just sounds like somebody's name. Hello, I'm Mr. Mark Seam. Hello, I'm Glenn Pierce. If you guys didn't watch me play Superliminal, you have no idea what that reference probably is. I'm Dr. Glenn Pierce. Again, you should always have your seams in a place that you can't see them. Perfection. I don't know what that is, actually. That is not perfection. What is happening there? Eh? This one was fine, right? Eh? Okay, well. Screw you. I'll just duplicate this, pull you down. Bam it on the table. We're done. Unwrap again. Nice. And you are done. How much longer have I got? 5 more minutes. Cool. Did that very quickly. Books. I actually have the books done over here, but actually, would it be easier? It would be easier, to be fair. I'll just take the 1 for now because it looks like it's perfectly aligned. I knew that was going to happen. Can I do this? Yep. We will. Rotation. Scale, rotate, scale. Local. Scale, rotate, scale. Nice. We'll overlay them to match. We will grab the back. So again, if you stretch, you will stretch these parts out. But if you grab and pull, you'll keep that consistency. So grabbing and pulling tends to be the way you want to go, but that won't always be the case. I know I sound like a freaking riddle half the time today. Oh, you could do it this way, but remember, you could also do it this way. But it's true. When it comes to 3D, there's a lot of different ways you can do something. You just need to pick your battles with how you do your things. We want to select the ones that are colored. No, all the way around. We want to select the ones that are not colored. That one. There you go. Now these will be unwrapped. If we unwrap them, wow. There you go. They will look pretty good. And we've done the books. We still have 3 minutes, so with that, select. We don't need the underneath faces. All I where's my brush? There it is. All I want is basically this part here where it gets thicker, and then we could just unwrap that. That's interesting. Unwrap. What if I make it angle based? Conformal is definitely better. But I'm kind of sad because this looks really good. But I feel like that's not going to work properly, so we will do this. See, I wonder if I could have selected the whole outside of it, pinned it, and then unwrapped it. I tried. Cool. That's done. I have 2 minutes. I really want to go play Getting Over It. I'm getting better and better times, and it just makes me want to play more and more. Right, we never finished this because I started showing an example of something. So I said I wanted it at the front, and then I want these. The reason we want it at the front because this doesn't get turned around, so from the camera's perspective, the front is where you'd want the seam because it's the part you wouldn't see. Cool, done. All we've got left is a very, very few items. The frame of this, I think, would be easy, so let's quickly do that. We've got a minute left. feel like you just do this. I mean, if you do this, this, that'll work pretty well. But it does make 1, 2, 3, 6 separate islands. I think that'd be fine. Wait. I should at least mirror how the islands are created. There you go. Oh. There we go. And done. Alright, there's 10 seconds left. I like leaving on the time I say I'm going to leave, so we'll just do this last one here. Cool. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. And I will hopefully catch you Sunday. And it's just 10 o'clock now. Bye. Oh, you just came back? How dare you? Bye. I hope you enjoyed your game. Bye.